Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I'm looking at one of those reporters, one of the correspondents on the Weather Channel. He's at Long Branch, New Jersey, Long Beach or Long Branch, and he's standing there on the beach, and you can't really see much. Lots of wind and snow all over the place. Very hard to tell he's at a beach, but then the camera panned off, and I could see the water and the waves, right? Waves are still happening like they do in the summertime, still happening now. I just wonder, what is it like to be a fish during a snowstorm, right? I mean, you never hear about well, some fish, I guess, migrate. Penguins migrate, don't they? But they're not fish. What is it like if you're underwater and you're a fish during a storm? Is it really peaceful? I mean, at the very top, I guess it's very rough. But, I mean, after a certain depth, how many feet? Is it just like any other day? Do they have weather? I mean, I guess they really don't have weather if you are a sea creature, right? I mean, that only affects the top. What is it like? Does anybody know? You know what that's a great question for? Grok and ChatGPT. Folks, here's the deal. You got to download these apps. Number one, they're free. And number two, they will enhance the quality of your life. Remember Google? Remember when we all discovered Google? Google is primitive in comparison to ChatGPT and Grok, and there are a couple of others. I like Grok and Chat. I actually think I like Grok more. Grok has a more realistic kind of worldview. It's a bit savvier, and it's not as hung up on political correctness. You ask a pointed question of ChatGPT, they're like, I have to proceed carefully because the question you have asked is extremely charged politically, and some may take offense. I'm like, all right, just tell me the truth. It says that, and they're like, I will be frank with you. However, I want to point out this, that, and the other thing. Just tell me. Although ChatGPT is coming. Anyway, you should really try it. As somebody who has been using them a lot and said, not only should you use them a lot, but when you're not using them, you should practice using them. You know, I'm not quite there yet, but this is taking off in a big way. In fact, I am going to ask it that question right now. We have people joining us from across the country. On the East Coast, it's snowing left and right. But you know, what are you going to do? I'm actually okay with it. We just got an update at the top of the hour on the weather situation. Stay home if you can. The roads are treacherous. Stay home if you can. Right? Well, you don't need me to say stay home if you can. People know how to do that. I know that I've noticed these politicians and some ex-politicians are very high and mighty when they tell people to do basic common sense things, right? As if they don't know to do that. Don't talk down, right? I feel like we're being talked down to a lot. I did last night also when they started to seemingly imply that it would be illegal for me to drive anywhere. If I want to drive, I'm going to drive. And if I want to drive in this kind of weather, I'm going to drive in this kind of weather. Now, I don't want to drive in this kind of weather. But just because the weather, it doesn't mean I surrender my rights, okay? I can still go places, and so can you. But I don't advise it, all right? We don't want to do it because we could get into an accident. It's very easy. And those SUVs, you know, SUVs are not invincible. Some of us, it's invincible. I can go anywhere in these SUVs. Nah, they're marginally better than cars, in my experience. They're just not all that. I think I want to pick up where we left off about this matter. Oh, wait, a couple of other quick things. War in Iran, 50-50 at this point. Are we going to war? 50-50. We might, we may not. It's hard to say. The former UK ambassador to the United States has been arrested related to this Epstein stuff. I'm looking at a picture of him in happier times. He looks like a Brit. He actually looks like Austin Powers with those glasses on. Prince Andrew was arrested, not for child sex, but for documents. You know, I've gone through these documents. I've gone through them. I feel like I know more than 99.99999% of the people out there about this Epstein stuff. Why? Because I've read the documents. And look, there are millions of documents, this latest dump. I can't read them all, but I have read the documents that we can all read that nobody reads. The indictment of Ghislaine Maxwell, the indictment of Jeffrey Epstein. I read the plea agreement from 2008. All these documents that people refuse to look at because it's much more fun to have an opinion. And, oh, by the way, your worldview may be disrupted. You know, it's nice to think we're good guys and they're bad guys, good and evil, right? I hate evil. And if there's child trafficking going on, it must be stopped and ended and all that stuff. It's hellacious. Hell. But that's not what these documents show. It's not what these documents show. A lot of people out there are very intent on portraying things that actually don't exist. And I'll get to it a little bit more later. I want to do this FBI, Secret Service, Sheriff of Palm Beach County press conference after they shot and killed a guy at Mar-a-Lago who, it looks to me, was a would-be assassin who got onto the Mar-a-Lago property when there's no reason in hell that person should have been able to get onto the Mar-a-Lago property. Now, if you don't mind, I want to take it from the top, all right? We got this press conference all lined up, and the mistakes happen right off the top. The officials don't seem to know each other. They're mispronouncing each other's names. One guy is chewing gum during the press conference. A second grader knows to take the gum out before, right? Seriously, am I being a jerk on that? I mean, I can't believe this. The representative for the Secret Service from the Miami office, by the way, the special agent in charge of the Miami office. Miami is like an hour and 15 minutes from Palm Beach in traffic. Don't we need a office in Palm Beach? I think we do at this point. That's where the damn thing is. All right, hit it. I want to hear this press conference, and stay with me, okay? Cut 17. This was Sunday morning. In a story that they want just to go away, we can't allow that to happen. The president is at risk. Go ahead.
We'll ask for a couple questions. We're not going to take a lot, but I want to warn you right now. Make them relevant to exactly what I'm talking about. All right? No what ifs. What about this? Don't get off base because we're not going to.
Hey. I'll ask the questions. And I think he said make them relative. I think, don't you want to say relevant? He said relative. Laying down the law, huh? All right, keep going.
For that. We're going to give you what we know and what we can. All right? So keep that in mind. So you good to go? All right. My name's Rick Bradshaw. I'm the sheriff in Palm Beach County. I have with me from the FBI, Special Agent in Charge Brett Skiles, Special Agent in Charge Rafael Barrios from the Secret Service. Also, I have Resident Agent in Charge David Clancy. At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene. I'll give you a picture of the shotgun and the gas can to have with you. So that's what we know now. Investigation continues. The FBI is the lead investigation agency on this case, and we will be assisting them in whatever manner they would like, and they will be responsible for answering any other questions at an appropriate time. Agent Skiles, thank you, sir.
Good morning. Again, my name is Brett Skiles. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for the FBI's Miami Field Office. First of all, I'd like to thank the Secret Service and Palm Beach Sheriff's Office for their quick response in this matter and close collaboration. Since this area of the shooting was under Secret Service protection at the time, the FBI is assisting the investigation. Currently, our evidence response team is processing the scene, collecting evidence, and we'll continue to work the scene for as long as it takes. One thing I would ask the public is if you live in the area of the shooting, please check your exterior cameras for last night, early this morning. If you see anything that looks suspicious or out of place, please contact us at 1-800-CALL-FBI or contact the West Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. Thank you.
Hey, stop for a second. The 1-800-CALL-FBI, that's the number they tell us to call for Mrs. Guthrie. Is this really the number we're supposed to call? Anybody who thinks that President Trump was in the wrong when he said we have to fight the Mexico drug cartels, you see what's going down there? Puerto Vallarta, the gosh damn terrorists are taking over. And they laughed at him. Talking about the cartels as a genuine military target, perhaps. Anyway, keep going to the press conference. Very, very, you see, they just want to get the hell out of there. I get that sense, and that makes me suspicious. Keep going.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rafael Barros. I'm the Special Agent in charge of Secret Service Miami Field Office.
Stop. Okay, the sheriff said his name was Barrios, right? So the sheriff doesn't even know this guy's first time he's meeting him. And this is the guy who's chewing gum, by the way. He's chewing gum. That's not a professional. It's not a professional operation. And I'm sorry if that's whatever, but it's a valid observation. Keep going.
Earlier today, 2 special agents from the Secret Service and a deputy from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office were involved in an officer-involved shooting while responding to an armed individual at one of the gates at Mar-a-Lago. Preliminary information indicates that the individual was armed with a shotgun and a possession of a gasoline canister. Agents and the deputy discharged their firearms to stop the threat. At this time, no law enforcement personnel were injured during the incident. We want to be clear, the President of the United States was not in the state of Florida. Right, and this remains an active investigation by the FBI. Thank you.
Okay, this is the picture that I'm going to give you of the shotgun and the gas can. So
pretty ordinary picture.
All right,
can't
so
see
you'll
much.
have that. Like I said, there's a lot more investigation to be done. FBI is the lead agency. We'll be assisting them. And fortunately, nobody was in jeopardy inside because of the quick action that was taken by the deputies and the Secret Service. All right, do we have any relative questions?
What does that mean, relative?
Can you hold up that photo again of the gun?
Yeah, we're going to give it to you. All right? Okay, that's it for today.
The officer that shot and killed the suspect, what agency are they from?
Say that again, ma'am?
The officer that shot and killed the suspect.
There's 2 agencies involved. Sheriff's Office, Secret Service.
But the actual officer, the agency.
Well, that's under investigation right now. Okay?
Was this person known to law enforcement prior to the incident?
Not right now.
Can you clarify where on the perimeter it happened? You mentioned
At
by
the
the
gate.
Yeah.
At the front gate over there?
Yep.
Okay.
They're the north side.
North side.
Were they inside of the gate or no?
He was just inside the inner perimeter, yes. All right?
Was anyone involved wearing body cameras?
Pardon me?
Was anyone wearing body cameras?
Yes, we always do.
Stop. That's really interesting to me. They glossed over the idea that the guy was by the gate. That comes out. He was anxious to get the hell out of there, doesn't want to answer any questions. All relative questions. Okay, here's a picture. Okay, goodbye. You can tell it's not it's not exactly like the world's press corps there, chomping at the bit. It's very, very, very. All right, keep going.
Were any words exchanged between the officers and the suspect?
Only words that we said to him was drop the items, which means the gas can and the shotgun.
But the suspect never spoke.
He put the gas can down and pointed the shotgun at the officers.
Was the shotgun loaded?
Shotgun loaded.
The shotgun was.
I don't know.
How many shots were fired?
Don't know that either yet. It's part of the investigation. Okay, folks. Thanks for being here. That's it.
There have been more detailed press conferences after a manure truck fell over, for crying out loud. They have longer press conferences, when there's a snow day in New York City. Now, a man is dead on the Mar-a-Lago property. How did he get on the property? How did he get inside? How did he go through a gate? Was the gate monitored? Was the gate open? Were there any other secondary? Did he have a vehicle? I mean, there's something. And, oh, by the way, this story has evaporated. As to the guy who did it, his name was Austin Martin. I don't want to say the middle name all the time, Austin Tucker Martin, but I feel like, God forbid I'm ever in trouble or, something happens to me. Are they going to call me Gregory Raymond Kelly? Nobody ever calls me that, right? But I mean, Gregory Kelly, Greg Kelly. Gregory Raymond Kelly, Austin Tucker Martin, Lee Harvey Oswald. I hear he just went by Lee. All right, wait a second. No, I don't see any plows, to be honest. I've not seen, and I've been here for a while. I haven't seen any plows. I see regular vehicles coming and going. For all the, everything's great. I don't think everything is great. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Up behind the net. And it's Werenski. Now Jack Hughes pokes it around McCarr. United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold. Jack Hughes beating Jordan Bennington.
Wow. Hockey team won. Fantastic. Congratulations. I had no heads up about this at all. Granted, I'm not a hockey head, but still, I thought there would have been a bit more general awareness. Congratulations. Huge victory. It does remind me, although there are some stunning differences, when we won in 1980. Anybody remember that?
Losing it to Silk. Now Petrov controls. Back to Varlamov. Skating in on the left side. Into the American end. 55 seconds. But Mikhailov has the puck. Mikhailov sweeping in. Out in front. Backhander goes wide. I think Craig might have got just a piece of it. Mikhailov back out to Bilya Letinov. 43 seconds remaining. Morrow checked into the boards. It comes back to center ice. 37 seconds left in the game. Petrov with it. The Americans on top 4-3. Long shot. Craig able to get a piece of it to sweep it away. 28 seconds. The crowd going insane. Varlamov shooting it into the American end again. Morrow is back there. Now Johnson. 19 seconds. Johnson over to Ramsey. Bilya Letinov. The game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Wow. Now that one I watched on TV. I remember when it happened. This one is not as big a deal for some obvious reasons and not so obvious reasons. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest.
We're in.
Yes.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning. Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
I'm going to let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union. The nice thing about being president is I can tell you, you don't have to worry about the weather or landing. So we don't care if it's snowing, if it's the worst blizzard, we'll be sailing through that sucker just like you did on the ice.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now we'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. Absolutely. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay? But anyway, if you could work that out, I would be honored to have you all introduce you to the whole...
I got it, boss. I got it.
Okay, you got it, Cash.
I'm on it.
Cash is doing it. I'm happy.
I'm fucking on it.
Congratulations. That was an unbelievable game. I don't know if one person that wasn't... Everybody that called me said, I'm watching the hockey game. You know? I don't know if anybody that wasn't. And You're going to be proud of that game for 50 years as you grow older. I mean, it was amazing. So we love you guys. Congratulations. And I hope to see you, Cash, Tuesday night. And I want to shake hands. I'm going to shake hands with everybody, but I got to shake hands with that goalie.
We'll see you Tuesday night, Mr. President.
See you Tuesday night.
I'm driving the bus, boss. We're bringing the whole.
Well, that's pretty damn cool. I love how President Trump is going to be so cool, and it'll be even cooler if we do this. And isn't it cool when you're president? I can do all this stuff. The enthusiasm, the passion, the kid-like. You know what it is? It's innocence. Believe it or not, there's an innocence to him. It's so cool. It's so cool. And I got to shake the hand with that goalie. And, wow. Well, you know what? To be honest, I wasn't that into the hockey. Now I'm into the hockey. All right. We got to get into it. I got to watch Carlos, were you aware of this stuff, of the hockey? It was like, nobody was talking about it. Right?
No, I mean, I was aware of the Olympics, but the hockey never.
I was somewhat aware of the Olympics. What about, your hipster friend there? Did he know anything? No, he's probably at a goth rave or something like that. Did you know anything about the hockey?
Yeah, the game was on at 8 a.m. It's a Sunday. I'm recovering. I'm not doing that.
You're recovering.
I'm
recovering from, what, your long run?
I had a long run Saturday night.
Yeah. Oh, boy, that sounds kind of gross.
Half a marathon.
Good for you. Good for you. Hey, you got to be young while you're young. How about these guys? Congratulations. And so interesting, he mentioned almost apologetically, now I will tell you, we're going to have to bring the women too. What's the word of the women? Are they a little on the woke side? I heard some little little wise ass comment from one of those hockey players about the borders or something. Open up all the borders. There's always somebody. You know, they're used to that, by the way. You know, people come in and I'm going to say this to the president. Watch me. And it never is the dramatic moment they think it is. Number one, they have systems for dealing with this. They have all kinds of things. You think you're going to tell the president off once and for all? No, don't worry. Lots of people try to do that and it's fine. And people get overwhelmed by the presidency. They do. They get in there and they're like, oh my God, this is the most important thing. And before you know it, it's over. And it's very interesting also when you leave, you're like on cloud 9 for like 4 hours. You're like at a heightened level of awareness and something. There's like, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's something. And actually, that's one of the keys. I know he's the president. I respect that he's the president. But you know what? In a weird way, he is more interesting than the presidency. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. All right. What else do we have to do here? Snow's still coming down. Newsom is still an idiot. I mean, really an idiot. He insulted black people. He's trying to say, hey, I'm just, I may look like a pretty boy. I may look like I have it all going on. And he's in front of a primarily black audience. And he says, but I'm dumb just like you. And everybody was like, huh? Yeah, I only got a 960 on my SAT, just like you. Huh? It was so wrong. And I have no doubt he got a 960. Maybe he got an 860 on the SAT. Right? It's one of the reasons why he's so pompous, right? He overcompensates for his academic inaptitude. He's not that good at that stuff, but he wants to appear, and that's why he moves his hands in such dramatic fashion, right? He wants to appear bigger and smarter than he actually is, and that's a compensation. There's no way that guy can be president, and if he becomes the Democrat nominee, it shows you how broken and weird that party is. Right now, I talked to some experts over the weekend, and I've been set straight on a couple of different things. I had a theory going into the weekend that the nominee for the Democrats would be a guy named Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland, not because he's any great shakes, but because he doesn't have the obvious deficiencies of the others. I mean, the obvious deficiency with Gavin Newsom is Gavin Newsom and also the state of California. You know, you can't run on either. He's crazy, and California's all screwed up, and it's hemorrhaging people, right? So that doesn't work. Who else is out there? Pete Buttigieg. He's never going to catch on. I just don't see him catching on. And he annoys a lot of the power brokers in the Democrat Party. They don't like him. And for one, he doesn't deserve to be president, right? He doesn't deserve it. They know. You know, you've been what? Fort Wayne, Indiana mayor, something like that. Fort Bend, South Way, South something. Just a little tiny dinky town. And then he runs for president. Talk about white privilege. I mean, I'm not one to play the race card, but that's white privilege. Huh? It's because you went to college? You're going to run for president? And you're actually going to come in second place in Iowa. That is one of the most bizarre. Anyway, transportation secretary. He did nothing as transportation secretary other than take paternity leave. You know, he really leans into being gay, so it can't be him. AOC, we all saw how stupid she is the other day, right? I mean, there's no denying it. It can't be her. Who are the other people? Amy Klobuchar, give it a rest. You know, and they have so much dirt on her in terms of how she treats people. She threw an ashtray at somebody once. I mean, at him. At a person. Number one, what's she doing with an ashtray? Nobody has those anymore. But actually threw it at him really hard. And I think he had a great big welt on the back of his neck. So she can't be president. They have that story. They run it periodically. The moment she gets powerful, they run this story. And that leaves two guys. Todd Shapiro, governor of... No, not Todd Shapiro. What's that guy's name?
Josh.
I know a guy named Todd Shapiro, not him. He's our PR guy. He's the best. Josh Shapiro. The thing about Josh Shapiro is... I don't know. You want to hear Josh Shapiro talk? It's his voice that drives me crazy. He's obviously doing a Barack Obama impression, and it stinks. He is the most pompous, full of himself weirdo I've seen in a long time. I mean, at least Obama's being pompous, but he's kind of imitating him. I don't see anybody he's openly ripping off. Let's see, Josh Shapiro's speech. Now, I, quite frankly, didn't even know. Some people say, well, he's Jewish and that works against him. I don't think it does. I think people are, but you never know. You know who's really hung up on that more than anybody? The Democrat Party. Yeah, the Democrat Party. They're all kinds of weird over there. They are just some strange. They have a problem with everything, including Jewish people. How about that? Do me a favor, Josh Shapiro, 2024 speech. Go ahead and find that. He spoke and he acted like he was even weirder than Tim Walz. The other guy that leaves is Wes Moore. Now, here's why it's not going to be Wes Moore, and it's probably going to be Todd Shapiro. I always knew that Wes Moore was a phony. I mean, and I always knew he embellished his resume. But it sounds to me that Democrats everywhere are really poised to pounce. Sometimes they tiptoe. They tiptoe around these issues. Like they tiptoed for 4 years about Joe Biden being a liar and having dementia. Nobody would come out and write that story. For whatever reason, they are prepared to write the story that Wes Moore is a great big liar, even worse than Joe Biden. Now, I don't think he's worse than Joe Biden. I think he's pretty bad. But worse than Joe Biden is what they tell me. And I have not seen the worse than Joe Biden part, but I've seen some pretty... You got Josh Shapiro now? He sounds like he's doing an Obama impression. Go ahead.
Each of us has a responsibility to get off the sidelines, to get in the game, and to do our part. Are you ready to do your part? Are you ready to form a more perfect union?
Yeah.
Are you ready to build an America where no matter what you look like, where you come from, who you love or who you pray to, that this will be a place for you? And are you ready to look the next President of the United States in the eye and say, hello, Madam President? I am too
All right,
selective.
shut up for a second. Jeez. God, all pretty prosaic, pretty ordinary words, You can do anything you want in America. We already know that. I knew that when I was in first grade. And the weirdest part about that speech, you can't see it. Once the crowd goes nuts, right? He's basking in it. He's looking. You can tell this is like crack cocaine for him. He loves it. He loves it. He's in politics for the wrong reason. He's got this, what do you call it, a megalomaniac kind of streak. The roar of the crowds. Honest politicians will tell you, a lot of them, that they got into it for that. You know, one of the most interesting guys who ever did that was, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? The former governor of New Jersey, Tim McGreevey. Very interesting man. And I think he's a good man, actually. You may remember he was outed while he was governor of New Jersey, and he came forward and said, I am a gay American, and he had to resign. It's funny. He was forced out of office, and now you can become president by saying, I am a gay American. If you say that out loud, I mean, that's a political plus, not a negative. But in that moment, it took the country by storm. They were shocked. And he wrote in his own memoir, I think he called it, I forgot what he called it, but it was an interesting, thoughtful book. And it was very, he was very upfront. One of the reasons why he got into politics, he just loved the idea of the adulation, of the approval from strangers, from crowds. What other profession do they make a poster of you and put it around with your name on it, right? Run commercials and you get recognized. It's just, it's another path to stardom, recognition, which unfortunately seems to be the ultimate currency in America. And having had a brush of it myself, believe me, it's not worth it. It's no big deal. I'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Is it okay to comment on Instagram the way people dress if it's a woman? Is that all right? I mean, I'm sorry. They're begging for comments, right? They're putting out all this content. I see journalists that I know, going on panel shows, right? Panel show after panel show. And this girl who obviously is quite attractive, right? And takes these selfies and I comment on all kinds of things. And usually what they say, men, women, it doesn't matter. I like to stir the pot a little bit, say controversial stuff, just test your ideas. And this time, I'm tempted to post this. I've already written it, but I haven't posted it yet. So she's going on CNN, and she's always wearing these hot outfits, right? I mean, they're very whoa, what do we have here, right? It's natural. People notice these things. But now on this night, she's wearing a red sweater with a shirt underneath it, with a collar sticking up. And she looks like, any teacher from the year 1972 to 2 seconds ago. They just all that's what they look like. And it's a fine look. It's totally fine. But in comparison to everything else, it's a little bit. So here's my little thing here. And by the way, I don't care really. I know I'm going to, not to be weird in quotes, but why is so-and-so dressed like a fourth grade teacher with the sweater shirt combo? The other night, parentheses, not that I was looking in quotes, but she had this black thing with a gigantic zipper in front. A friend of mine, in quotes, found it highly appealing, but not to be weird. I think this could have the reaction that I'm actually looking for. Listen to the Ilhan Omar. I can't. It's easy to forget that the whole thing is still raging in Minnesota to some degree. They have kind of calmed it down. Ilhan Omar, what does she want? What does Ilhan Omar want now? Imagine being born somewhere else and coming to this country and bad-mouthing it and slamming it and demanding all this stuff. Cut B, S8. B, S8. Go ahead.
These programs fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
No, that's not Ilhan. That's a town hall that she was hosting. That's a disgruntled Somali small business owner. And some of them would actually like reparations. Now, why do we give Somali people who came here, what do we owe them? Apparently something. BS7, if you don't mind. BS7.
We have suffering sons starting for ICE. We want to, whoever bring over here, we want to they pay. Only that's what I'm saying. And I'm asking our governor and our state, we are taxpayer, we need pay back whatever they committed ICE. Thank you very much.
Woo, woo, woo. Free stuff. Free stuff. The tariffs remain in effect, which I think is fantastic. All right. And they've been jumped to 15%. And here's Scott Bessent not screwing around. Our Treasury Secretary, probably the brightest guy in that cabinet. BS1, if you don't mind. BS, cut one.
And he has made clear that we cannot compromise on economic sovereignty, accept structural vulnerabilities, or allow strategic industries to erode as a result of outdated or misguided assumption. At President Trump's direction, our administration has therefore made economic security the centerpiece of our economic policy. Today, I will share our strategy for putting America first by reprioritizing economic security, which rests on three pillars. First, industrial and technological dominance. Second, investment in America. Third, preparedness. From the earliest days of the Republic, our founding fathers understood that independence required economic security. The ability to produce essential goods, sustain public credit, and foster domestic industry was seen as the foundation of sovereignty by Alexander Hamilton. And it still is.
Well, that's great. That's great. But more important than Alexander Hamilton, not really. But he went at it with Dana Bash. Dana Bash, nobody knows. And this was excellent. Excellent. You know, Dana Bash is always making those faces during the interviews. You ever see that? Carlos, take a look at this. The other thing I want to emphasize when it comes to trade, it's true. We do not need, or my daughter does not need $37. Doesn't need $37. We have too much plastic crap from China. It almost stopped snowing, by the way. Very, very, very proud of my little girl, the one who will not be getting $37. Her name is Annalise. She's 6. And guess what happened? So, I'm driving her back. She had a tennis lesson. Yeah, I know. Tennis lesson at 6. Wow. Well, quite the life. And we get off, and I almost run over a guy who's changing his tire. Almost ran him over. He was so in the dark. And he was obviously Hispanic because I rolled down my window. He didn't understand me. Long story short, I'm about a half a block away at this point. I'm like, that guy's going to get killed. He's got to turn on his lights. I asked my daughter, how do you say turn on your lights in Spanish? You know what she said? Ponga la luces. So I rolled down the window. Ponga la luces. And the son of a bitch did it. And he's alive. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.